up on AgweekTV. We'll see what's new for corn and soybean growers at their annual Expo.
We'll sit down with an ag industry leader who has strong ties to Ukraine.
We'll take you to the American Sugarbeet Growers Association's annual meeting in Orlando to learn about new innovations in funding research.
And this southeast Minnesota farm is the perfect place for distilling bourbon. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. This week, we're doing our show from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo in West Fargo, North Dakota. The expo is produced by the North Dakota Corn and Soybean Councils and Growers Associations, features an expansive trade show, expert speakers, and much more. One of the topics here at the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo was trade policy. Katie Pinky met with an expert and has more.
Joining me now is Cary Sifferath with U.S. Grains Council. We were a part of a trade policy panel earlier. Share with me a little bit about what you said on GMO corn exports in Mexico.
Yeah, well, President AMLO put in a presidential decree way back in 2020 to ban the imports, eventually ban the imports of GM corn. Obviously, the largest supplier of corn exports to Mexico being the U.S. was an issue. That's kind of, without going through the whole history, is come around about a year ago. They amended the protocol or the ban to be just for white corn as of now, but that went into effect back in February of 2023. And so the importation of GM white corn is now banned. Yellow corn is still free and able to trade even with GM traits. The U.S. has taken Mexico to the within USMCA to a dispute panel, and that's now ongoing. A panel of 3 has been set up, and so they're in the process of going through that.
Another topic you mentioned in the panel was logistics and just all of the logistics interruptions that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, we had very low river levels last year. The beginning of this fall, again, we've gotten enough rain in parts of the Midwest that the river system, the Missouri, Mississippi, Illinois, Ohio River are back to pretty decent levels. But the rainy season in Panama runs from April to November. And El Nino caused much less rainfall in Panama, and so those natural lakes that feed the natural water that allows the Panama Canal to work, X amount of water, fresh water leaves those lakes every time they open the gates to bring vessels in and out, and so they've put in some fairly restrictive measures there. It doesn't ban grain vessels, but the economics are to the point where grain vessels just are not using the Panama Canal at all today.
Cary Sifferath, U.S. Grains Council, thanks for joining us in West Fargo, North Dakota.
Thanks, Katie. Howard Dahl has a long and storied history in the region's ag equipment business. His grandfather invented the Bobcat skid steer loader, and the family have been innovators since then at companies like Steiger, Concord, Wilrich, and AME Technology, where Dahl is CEO. He is also chairman of the board at Astarta Holdings, a major farming and sugar enterprise in Ukraine. In this week's Ag Week cover story, Mikkel Pate's talk with Dahl about the devastation in Ukraine since Russia attacked in 2022.
Howard, you started trading machinery into Russia and Ukraine before really anyone around. When did that start?
Fall of 1991, just before the fall of the Soviet Union. We saw a huge opportunity for the big fields of Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan. And agriculture is the most important part of the Ukrainian economy. It's still a lot of 1,000-acre farms, 5,000, 10,000.
This is agriculture on a different sort of scale than most farmers are accustomed to thinking about, because it's a vertical in the sense that you do the farming all the way through the processing and exporting, correct?
Right. We have 600,000 acres of farmland, 5 sugar beet factories, a soy crushing plant, and 35,000 head dairy herd. And so it is vertically integrated in that sense.
What is it like to try to farm and do business with that kind of physical presence happening?
So there's the normal cycles of agriculture, and then you've got this war going on that, and for us, we have about 400 employees fighting in the Ukrainian army. And we've had close to 30 employees killed in the war. We have been able to plant all our land. The logistics of getting supplies and especially shipping grain out is very, very difficult.
Do you have a sense that the Russians are planning to disrupt agriculture in any way, particularly that they haven't before?
There's just loads and loads of landmines. And a lot of farmland, it'll be a long time before it'll ever be farmed again because of all the landmines and trenches and things that they've built there. Many tractors.
Is this land that you farm
No,
in your
no.
company? When you are talking about whether the U.S. or others support the war effort, how does that affect what you're doing in terms of the military investments and so on? Does it have effects on your situation?
Well, long-term for sure, indirectly for sure, but not the day-to-day operations. But our main owner and CEO of the company, Viktor Ivanchuk, is given about $20 million to relief efforts and help poor farmers and all our employees who are in the Army. They get their salary from the Army, but we're also paying full salary to them. And so just to honor their service.
What do you wish people knew, or what do you think is to come over there?
Well, I have a deep conviction that there's a war against our great freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and freedom of religion. And I think Ukraine is a critical point in that ongoing war.
You can read much more in the next AgWeek magazine or at AgWeek.com. Up next on AgweekTV, a Minnesota farmer has the right ingredients for turning his crops into bourbon.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I like that just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
My name is Dawn, and this is my husband, Trent. I've been ranching ever since I was a little girl.
And I married into it.
We believe that if you take care of your land, it will give back to you and to your future generations. We value the helpfulness of finding the information and guidance we need in one place. Thankfully, the Dakota Legacy Initiative can provide just that for us. Visit DakotaLegacyInitiative.com for more information.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
North Dakota Farmers Union is hosting the Evolution Ag Summit on Tuesday, February 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the NDFU headquarters in Jamestown. This is a one-day event focused on the value of implementing carbon sequestration practices on North Dakota farms and ranches. Topics will include industry perspectives, agronomics and economics of soil carbon sequestration, carbon sequestration incentives, and a farmer-rancher perspective panel. Register online at ndfu.org/evolutionag.
Welcome back to AgweekTV from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo in West Fargo, North Dakota. The Farm Bill has been a hot topic in the ag industry after failing to pass by its deadline. Christy Seifert is the head of government affairs for the American Soybean Association. She says one thing that ASA is hoping to see in the upcoming Farm Bill is a safety net for farmers.
There's certainly opportunity ahead for greater economic volatility, whatever that looks like. We think it's a very important investment to make in the farm safety net so that farmers are prepared when that next disaster strikes. And we hope that that predictability can come together in the next Farm Bill.
The Farm Bill extension will expire in September of this year. Farmers and ranchers in North Dakota and Minnesota may be eligible for a national pilot program that will pay $100 an acre or animal unit for conservation practices. The Alliance to Advance Climate-Smart Agriculture will pay producers in certain counties for practices that curb greenhouse gas emissions. That includes no-till or minimal-till, prescribed grazing, or cover crops. What makes this program different is that it includes farmers who are already using conservation practices.
But really our goal here is to demonstrate the ability of having a streamlined conservation program and one that recognizes the public benefit that producers are creating when they install or maintain these practices. So $100 per acre reflects not just the cost of adopting that practice, but the benefit that it's creating for the general public.
The project is funded through a USDA grant. Contact your Soil and Water Conservation District to see if your county qualifies. When you think of bourbon, you probably think of Kentucky, but the southeast corner of Minnesota can give it a run for its money. Christian Myra started Rock Filter Distillery in Spring Grove in 2016. Myra moved back to the family farm in 2013 after leaving the military. He thought he could do a little more with their grain, so he decided to open a whiskey distillery. They use a lot of their corn to make bourbon, including some ancient heirloom varieties. And Myra says the local water and white oak for their fires adds to the quality.
We got the white oak, the grains, the water, everything that really you need to make whiskey right here in this region, and so I thought, well, let's put all those natural resources together and make a world-class whiskey and bourbon right here. And
Myra and his father run the farm and distillery with some harvest help, and they have about 5 employees in the distillery and the cocktail room. The Black Hills Stock Show took place the last 2 weeks of January, and thousands of people made their way to the show rings for the event. The stock show featured dozens of vendors as well as livestock shows and sales, including cattle, sheep, and goats. This is 10-year-old Mason Swiner's first year showing goats. He has been perfecting his showmanship skills with his goat Pumpkin, following in his sister's footsteps.
As my sister was doing it, I saw that she was earning a lot of prizes and money, and I'm like, I kind of want to be that kind of person.
His sister Catherine has been showing goats for 5 years.
Favorite part about showing goats is waking up in the morning and going outside, seeing baby goats, feeding them, and getting to just know their personality.
The Black Hills Stock Show also runs in conjunction with Rodeo Rapid City, which featured dozens of PRCA rodeo events.
Coming up on AgweekTV, we learn about a new mechanism for funding research.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Farming is more than a career. It's a lifestyle, a calling, and a badge of honor. That's why it's important to have a banking partner who doesn't just understand the farming industry, they understand your farm. At Bremer Bank, we've spent more than 80 years working side by side with farmers like you to help you invest in and grow your operation. Season after season, from one generation to the next.
Are you a farmer looking to stay on top of trends and innovations in your industry? Attend the International Crop Expo, February 21st and 22nd at the Alaris Center. This free event includes seminars and a trade show featuring over 100,000 square feet of farming machinery and vendors. Hear from keynote speakers Hunter Pinky, Russ Tweeten, and Bobby Sondrell. Also check out the new BASF Beer Garden. That's February 21st through 22nd at the Alaris Center. Take your farming skills to the next level. Learn more at cropexpo.com.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Built in North Dakota and delivered across the Midwest, every Pinky home is a custom home, designed for your family, built by ours. And with our on-site lumberyard and generations of experience, we can help build the home of your dreams without breaking your budget. Build something that lasts. Build with Pinky Homes. Get to know us and see all of your customization options at pinkyhomes.com.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Can the region expect colder temps anytime soon? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
It is back to cold weather in southern Canada and parts of the northern United States. The cold weather looks like it's going to linger for a while. It's not frigid air for the most part. Some of it is getting there, though. We'll take a look at where the coldest weather will be. And as has continued to be the main feature, really, the biggest weather anomaly temperature-wise in the United States this winter season has been the cool weather in the south, which is quite typical of El Nino winters, and this has been a classic El Nino winter. And also, the stormy weather in El Nino winters tends to be concentrated down in the southeast. We've had two areas of concentration this winter. The southern states have had plenty of moisture, and of course, California has had more than its share of late. Going forward to this first week of the forecast, the two primary flows of jet stream air are still, the northern one is displaced pretty far north, but it's beginning to sag. The really frigid weather is, for the most part, locked up in the Arctic. But we have freezing weather, not only in the northern Rockies, but across the northern tier, in through the Great Lakes, and down through the Appalachians continues to be fairly cold. The entire southeast, with the exception of South Florida, continues to be quite cool. By cool, I mean a lot of weather in the 40s and 50s. A warm day might get you 60. This cold weather is mostly below freezing. This is the really cold stuff, and that's going to stay up there. But notice it's kind of pushing south, and I do think we may get a few fingers of some of that near 0 degree high temperature weather dropping down toward North Dakota, but I don't think it will really make a push. I think it'll just kind of threaten for the most part. The only really warm area will be the far desert southwest, the end of the Colorado River, and that's really about it. Second week of the forecast period, post-Valentine's Day, will keep south central Canada fairly cool. Most of the northern plains, Great Lakes, Midwest, and southeast will bring some freezing weather. A lot of pretty cool weather down into the deep south. Florida will escape most of it, but it won't be really terribly hot. The only really hot weather per se will be down there in parts of the Mojave Desert. As far as precipitation goes, I think the East Coast will still be fairly stormy, with some storm systems turning into rain and then snow up in the Northeast. I think there will be at least a modest snowstorm through some semblance of the northern plains. Probably not a monster storm, but getting some measurable snow back in that area. And we'll continue to see the Pacific Northwest, the mountain areas, and California being hit by some rainfall for both of the next couple of weeks. So this area of the country will be quite wet. We'll get some snow on the ground in the northern plains, but it's really the southeast and the middle Atlantic states that will have the really wet weather. And of course, California over the next 2 weeks.
North Dakota Farmers Union is hosting the Evolution Ag Summit on Tuesday, February 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the NDFU headquarters in Jamestown. This is a one-day event focused on the value of implementing carbon sequestration practices on North Dakota farms and ranches. Topics will include industry perspectives, agronomics and economics of soil carbon sequestration incentives, and a farmer-rancher perspective panel. Register online at ndfu.org/evolutionag.
Looking to add non-GMO conventional and organic soybeans to your rotation this year? Soyco International out of Cary, Minnesota is looking for new farmer contracts for the 2023 season. They have proven marketing strategies, partnered with local agronomy expertise to work alongside and provide the certified seeds needed for their contract growers. Soyco International is offering premium prices to boost your operations' bottom line. Reach out to Sean Young today at 218-350-3863 to answer any questions. Powerful genetics at an incredible value. Join us for Olson's Red Power Bull Sale, Thursday, February 15th at the ranch west of Argusville, North Dakota. We'll be selling about 70 head of high-quality Red Angus and Polled Hereford bulls, heifers, and select-bred females. We're celebrating 88 years in the registered cattle business in our heated sale facility. Join us at noon for a great meal before our 1 p.m. sale on Thursday, February 15th, west of Argusville, North Dakota.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Public spending on ag research in the U.S. has declined sharply over the years. It can take years for funding to make a difference because of problems like hiring backlogs and infrastructure needs. At the American Sugarbeet Growers Association's annual meeting in Orlando, Jenny Schlecht learned how the new Sustainable Sugarbeet Research Initiative will help growers and the industry.
It can take a while for government funding for research to get where it needs to go. But a new initiative in the sugar beet industry is hoping to change things.
Any good idea has a chance at being funded through this program.
Rebecca Larson is the chief scientist at Western Sugar Company and helped develop the Sustainable Sugar Beet Research Initiative. She wanted to figure out how to make sure research funding reached the highest impact projects that have the best chance of making it to the farm.
A lot of our needs on the farm are ever changing, and so we have to throw a lot of spaghetti at the wall to see what's going to work. So this gives us more flexibility in how we spend those dollars. So if we reach a dead end in a project, we can quickly pivot to something new, which was never possible within the USDA system before.
She developed the program with Melvin Bolton, research leader and plant pathologist at the USDA ARS Northern Crop Science Laboratory in Fargo. Scientists from anywhere can apply for funds for projects that are graded on merit and impact to the industry. And he says it's already making a difference.
There's some fantastic things that are happening, from using RNAi to target weeds and insects, to some ag engineering proposals that are using drones to identify weeds in the field, and all sorts of innovative technologies.
In Orlando, Florida, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
The first round of funding went out in July. Still ahead on AgweekTV, it's the 98th Little I at NDSU.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
North Dakota's conservation agencies have joined forces to better serve producers and landowners. The Dakota Legacy Initiative brings conservation resources together in one easy-to-navigate website. Easily find programs, events, technical assistance, and educational materials most relevant to you. Come see where collaborative conservation begins. Learn more at dakotalegacyinitiative.com.
Are you a farmer looking to stay on top of trends and innovations in your industry? Attend the International Crop Expo, February 21st and 22nd at the Alaris Center. This free event includes seminars and a trade show featuring over 100,000 square feet of farming machinery and vendors. Hear from keynote speakers Hunter Pinky, Russ Tweeten, and Bobby Sondrell. Also check out the new BASF Beer Garden. That's February 21st through 22nd at the Alaris Center. Take your farming skills to the next level. Learn more at cropexpo.com.
Farming is more than a career. It's a lifestyle, a calling, and a badge of honor. That's why it's important to have a banking partner who doesn't just understand the farming industry, they understand your farm. At Bremer Bank, we've spent more than 80 years working side by side with farmers like you to help you invest in and grow your operation. Season after season, from one generation to the next.
North Dakota State University's Saddle and Sirloin Club is hosting its 98th Little International this weekend. I talked with some club members about the time-honored tradition.
Linnea Axman may be from Fargo, but she was able to get a glimpse of what life is like on the farm when visiting her aunts, uncles, and grandparents' operations.
As my sister likes to say, egg adjacent.
Axman is a sophomore studying business administration at NDSU. Little International gives students like her the chance to show livestock, even if they didn't come from an ag background.
I'm showing a beef heifer, so I'm really excited about that. Her name is Kiwi, and she's doing pretty good. I think this is a huge opportunity because, when in my life am I going to be able to just go show a cow or a sheep? And so it's a great way for people who didn't have those opportunities growing up to do it.
Cassie Holm is a senior at NDSU studying human development and family science, and is this year's Little I Queen. Holm grew up on a cattle ranch in Ashley, North Dakota, and always knew she wanted to be a part of Saddle and Sirloin, like her older siblings were during their time at NDSU. She is proud to be part of a club that has such a rich history.
When you come in here on Saturday, February 10th, you will see a bunch of alumni, mostly the alumni that come back, the contestants, family members, and also the alumni give back to our club. So they give us sponsorships to be able to give our members awards and scholarships.
The Saddle and Sirloin Club is the largest club at NDSU. We appreciate you watching us this week from the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo in West Fargo, North Dakota. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.